If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will even distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many, many more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So don't forget to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hey, what's up? I am Tony Making Food Mata, and welcome to Season 2 of Tony Talk, a modified view in the culinary industry. Pretty excited about the new set. Boom, behind me, got my Tim Chappell painting right there. Nice. Couple of my culinary degree, my CSC certification. Kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe when I get some more funding, I will be able to get a better tripod for my camera. So, as always, I am simulcasting this. You can check out my YouTube channel, Modified Cooking, MATTAFIED, Modified Cooking. Type that in, you'll see me. I'm almost at 12,000 views, a little under 200 subscribers. So like, share, subscribe, and if you want to, toss me a monetary donation for the new set for Season 3, we'll be alright, but this is only Season 2. So, first subject matter for Season 2 of Tony Talk, a modified view in the culinary industry is working hungover. So, kind of odd subject matter if you think about it, but as I stated in the other last season, we get these chefs, these line cooks, they get this stipulation for sex, drugs, rock and roll, and for the most part it's kind of true a little bit, especially like on that entry level line cook, cookery, chef, cook, whatever, so that's like kind of what it is. So let's say you get railed all shift for 3 hours. You're just doing ticket after ticket, rail after rail, just banging out food, plate after plate. You do 400 covers in 3 hours. That's a pretty big number there. And you're like, hey, let's go to the bar. Let's go to the bar, let's get drunk, let's sit down at the bar, let's talk about our day, trade some war stories. Hey, did you see what Brenda did over there? She did pretty good. Oh man, did you see that guy Damon? What did he do? Or like, hey man, Tommy Lightpants, did you see him? He was eating some snacks. He called out for some chicken tenders for a salad, and then I go down there and he's just eating chicken tenders. So like you bond with your fellow pirates, with your chefs, if you will, or cooks, co-workers, usually at the bar. So let's say you go out, you are talking about these stories, and then it's like, well, hey, the bartender, the waitress, the server, and then you go to an after party. So then all of a sudden you're at Joe Bob's garage, and you're like, man, like this fireball is tasting pretty good. And then it's like, oh shit, I forgot that I have to work in the morning. And you're like, well, I'm almost out of Fireball, but Joe Bob has some Jaeger, so let's do some shots of Jaeger. And then before you know it, you're at the after party, not at Joe Bob's garage, maybe at TMFM's shed, I don't know, listening to old 90s hip-hop. And you're like, man, all right, I got a beer, and then you're like, man, I'm kind of drunk, and I'm kind of like, oh no, I got this party of 5,000 that I have to cook for. And Well, you know what? Chef life, you need to get to work. So, I don't know lots of remedies. Like, you better go home. You better go to bed, knock yourself out. I don't know. Have your alarm set, have 4 alarms set. Set your alarm on your phone. Tell your Alexa to set up an alarm. Have your mom set an alarm. I don't have your cat set an alarm for you, but you better get up for work. So, you got to get up for work. And now you're hungover. You know, we've all been there, chef life. But you did it to yourself. So you need to get out of it. There's no excuses. So go to work and it sucks, man. Like you're at work and you're like, oh man, like I got a headache. Take some Advil. I don't care what you do, but you know, those tickets are going to start coming in and you better produce. The kitchen is not a place for sissies or people who can't take the heat. You did it. You did it to yourself. You're not going to get a sick day because you're hungover. It's just not going to happen. There's been many a times, not now, not in my present chef life, but when I was a line cook, cooking on the line, lots of time going in, man, hungover. I remember one time I was so hungover, like I was in the back, and I was like prepping up these like meatballs, and had to do like 800 hand rolled meatballs for a banquet that we had the next day. And I'm just over there prepping these meatballs, and I'm just like, oh, so I go and I throw up. I threw up so hard in the employee bathroom that I like busted some blood vessels like in my eyes. Like it was like, and I came out of the bathroom, and I think it was Katie Gaz. She was like, dude, did you get punched in the face? Like, what's going on? I'm like, no, remember last night when we went out to the strip club and you tricked me and you said that it was gonna be, you know, ladies' night and you know it's gonna be great and like we're gonna go to the strip club and then all of a sudden it is actually a ladies' night because it was actually Magic Mike night, and then I see some dude on stage with a towel around his guy. Like, yeah, remember Katie when we were drinking after that? Yeah, I'm a little hungover. So, like, I got myself into that. Like, I got myself into it, and I had to get through it. Like, I had to get through it. And that's what it was. You're not going to get no free pass. You better believe it, that you better get through that lunch rush or that shift or whatever. I worked with this one guy, and he used to come into work hungover all the time, and actually he was a lot better from what he said compared to his old job. And what he would do is he would actually, like, the Queen Marys or the Metro Racks, he would take the bottom one, take all the stuff off of it, and then kind of like put some boxes like right in front of it and go and take like a cardboard box and lay it down on the wire. And then he would go in there and he would pass out like in the walk-in. Like, what? And like the chef wouldn't be able to see him because he had boxes. You know, like so many things wrong with that. That's time theft. That's just like, what? Like, what are you doing? Kind of a genius idea. Kind of. I mean, he had the balls enough to do that, and he had actually like the kind of coolness to like actually like cover his tracks a little bit and cover some boxes up in front of him. So, I mean, that was that. But you know that you're in it, you know, and like I'm not gonna condone it, but maybe you might want to take that little shot. Go next door, get that little shooter of Mohawk vodka, and do that to get you back right or make you hair of the dog or whatever they say. But I mean, you know, I mean that's like line cook stuff, dude. There's been lots of times when I was coming up in the ranks, you know, just like talking to the buddies, like, oh man, we went over there, we went over to Julie's house, or we went to Joe Bob's garage, or, you know, we were at Brian's house, or we were shooting pool over here, and then, like, all of a sudden it's 5 in the morning, and then, like, you guys both feel like shit, and you're just like, oh, you know, but, like, you have to, like, get through it. Like, you have to. And you have to man up. Like, you have to man up. Like, I cannot stress that because you did it. Now, obviously, if you are still drunk, you probably shouldn't be working with a knife in the kitchen. But I mean, that's to each its own, like, whatever. But I mean, I wouldn't recommend that. But then again, like, you really can't call off because some of these cook jobs, some of these short order cook jobs, some of these bar jobs or whatever, you don't get sick days. You don't get sick days. You cannot call off. But again, you did it to yourself. So you have to man up. Well, that goes into like another subject. Why? Why don't cooks? Why don't people in the service industry really get sick time off or paid time off? That goes into where we're kind of like underappreciated. Again, service industry people are kind of underappreciated in some of these restaurants. But then we go on the other aspect, on the other end, when you do work in a restaurant or a larger venue and you have a union, then you have your union, which is fine, which is good, and you do get paid time off and you do get the sick days, but then sometimes those people abuse it and they abuse the sick days and the times off and the point system. I remember one of the jobs that I was working at, one of the cooks, my saute guy, he'd be like, I'm gonna take a Friday off. I'm letting you know, I got my points. I still got five and a half points. I'm not at that 6 points, so I'm gonna take that day off. I'm gonna call off, use my points, whatever. I'm in the union, figure it out. At least he had the niceness, I guess, to tell me that he was taking that day off, that sick day off, that point day. Why didn't he burn up his sick time? I don't know, but there's no like happy medium, because I know that you better be like in the hospital, in jail, or dead, if you're gonna call off of work in some of these restaurants that I've worked in over the years, and that's like a stipulation. But I mean, that's like kind of, I guess, the life that we kind of chose, chef life. It's not chef life, cook life, service industry life isn't like 9 to 5. Like it isn't like that. It's like there's all sorts of like stress and all this stuff and all this fun and these flames and this heat and all this stuff and coming in hungover and glad I don't do that anymore. But that's like young chef life. And then in one of the episodes from last season, and it was like, well, yeah, I can be that drunk guy. I can be that drunk guy at the end of the line. I'm a phenomenal guy, but I just like to drink beers. And I'm going to always be that drunk guy at the end of the bar. And that's when you have to choose. You have to choose in your life. What do you want to do? Do you want to be that guy? Or do you want to just maybe not take that extra shot and maybe go that extra level? Maybe study your ass off to get, your CSC, or study your ass off and go to school and get your diploma. So like those are some things that you might want to take into consideration, I guess, about working hungover. And that goes into like another thing of like working on drugs. So I would really recommend not coming into work high. So that's like a whole nother like podcast that I might go into within the next couple of weeks. But just to touch base on that, like, yeah, weed's legal. Like, yeah, you can smoke it. But, I mean, coming into work high as balls, like that ain't really cool. Like, you need to focus. You need to multitask. If you're sitting there looking at the ticket like, oh, bro, I can't read this. Or, like, you got the munchies or something. Like, it's really not going to fly. So, I mean, I wouldn't really come in high. I mean, if you are, I guess it's legal. But, like, a lot of the restaurants, like, if you cut yourself, you're going to get sent to Concentra. And then if you test positive, is that one marijuana cigarette really worth your job? I don't really think so. So like, you got to kind of take all these things into consideration. But as mentioned in the topic headline, working hungover, it happens, and I've seen it. I've seen it happen so many times, and I've been there. I've done that. But at the end of the day, you have to look at yourself and you have to be like, well, is it really worth it? Wait until you have 2 days off. And if you do, man the fuck up. Just man up and just do it. Like, quit being a bitch. Quit being just do it. You chose this. So man up, grow some balls, get through the rush, finish your shift out, go smoke a bunch of cigarettes because we love smoking cigarettes, the pirates do, and then sit down at the bar and have another drink. And then, I don't know, chef life, start it all over again. So, first episode, season 2, Tony Talk, a modified view in the culinary industry, working hungover. As I said, I'm going to get a little bit more intense in these episodes. Like, man the fuck up. If you're going to work hungover, deal with it, quit being a little punk. So, that's that. Once again, I am Tony Making Food Mata. This is Tony Talk, a modified view on working hungover. Thank you, and have a good day.